Welcome back. Now, the latest from Governor Cuomo and New York. New York State Assembly Republicans have announced yesterday an impeachment resolution against Governor Cuomo, which is set for a formal introduction today. Cuomo is facing increasing calls to resign from both sides of the aisle, including friends on the Democrat side, over sexual harassment allegations, as well as the nursing homes cover-up. Joining me right now is New York State Assembly Republican leader Will Barclay. Good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here, sir. What do you want to see from Governor Cuomo?
Well, we'd like to see him resign, obviously, but he said on Sunday that he wasn't going to resign. So we think the next step is, in order to hold this governor accountable, is an impeachment proceeding. And the nice thing is you can start that in the state assembly with a simple majority vote, and then it would go over to the state senate for a trial. But ultimately, we think the time is now, because he's lost credibility, he's lost the trust of certainly the people in the legislature, but I think of New Yorkers. And it's been one bombshell after another. And how you expected to govern. We have some huge issues that need to be taken care of in the state. And when you have 30 legislators or more calling for him to resign, you have the leader, the speaker, and the majority leader in both the Senate and the Assembly inferring that he should resign. I don't know how you govern under those circumstances.
So much of the disappointment and the bombshells have to do with the nursing home scandal. And we've got a new report this morning that shows homes for people with development disabilities were also ordered to accept COVID-19 positive patients, an order that is still in effect. Roughly 20% of residents living in disabled living facilities have been infected with this virus. 552 of them have died. Will, your reaction to this, because I know that the sexual harassment allegations have been getting a lot of press and the headlines, but isn't it the cover-up on the nursing home scandal and now the development disability institutions that could be even worse because that's obstruction of justice?
Yeah, my conference and myself have always been troubled by those claims. You know, you had the AG come out, the Attorney General come out and say, you know, he's underreporting nursing home fatalities by as much as 50%. You know, when you have that misinformation coming from the governor's office, it's very hard to craft public policy, how to respond to what we have as a never happened before pandemic. So I think you're absolutely right that the fact that this nursing home cover-up and now with the group homes with the developmentally disabled, I think is just another thing. And interestingly, on that story, I understand they still aren't releasing all the information into trying to fatalities that happen in those group homes. It's just by voluntarily reporting from those group homes. So clearly, that's a problem. It clearly goes against this narrative that this governor was some sort of great leader during the pandemic. I think that's a whole reason he hid these numbers, because he didn't like that counter narrative out there. And then ultimately that leads to the loss of trust and credibility. And that's why impeachment is so important to do now.
When do you expect an impeachment trial? Real quick.
Well, we have to pass the resolution first in the Assembly, and then the Senate has 60 days to act on it.
Will Barclay will be watching. Thanks very much for being here. Will Barclay in New York. We'll be right back.